You're most welcome to the YouTube laboratory. My name is Daudi Alaba over here. Today it is another new episode, which is the wonderful one, and it is all about how to mix a feed for the maximum production of layers. Actually, it is how to mix feed for the birds to reach the peak production. For our case, 97%. So our birds are not yet laying up to that. So you can see the chicken house behind me. It's a little bit very far, and this is the first chicken house that we built some time back, and we are going to be mixing inside here our feed, which in concentration will let us hit into up to 97%. You can observe behind me I have a small store. That is our store, and we have decided to bring our feed over here, and this chicken house is empty, and we have already cleared it to receive new batch of birds which are coming very soon. So let us join the community members. Before we start to mix the feed for the maximum production of the birds, we shall check on the processes that goes through when you are looking for the best quality feed. When it comes to the aspect of mixing feed, there are mostly two ways. There is a way that you can go outside there, you source everything including the proteins and vitamins, you just come into the farm to mix them together to feed to your birds. That is what I call making your own feed. And there is also another way that you buy the concentrate, and then what you go outside there to look for is the maize. This is where we're going to start from. This is the market. Actually, you can see the lorries being packed all around. We cannot go and start from the garden, but here it's better. And what we're going to check is the quality and to see that the maize is dry. So what you source is the maize bran, and the limestone. That is what we call the partially mixed feed. So let us start from here. This is our weighing scale. This is one of the bag that I'm buying. I'm buying from this lorry, and I'm going to buy quite a kilogram of the maize right from here, so that we can go through the process up to the time that we mix it, also up to the time of consumption. So you should be very careful when you are buying, because the quality matters so much. So we have already brought our maize inside. Where we bought it in the lorry, the weighing scale was a little bit very terrible. I couldn't read something like that. And at least here, this is digital. You can see where they measured it, it was 123. Let us see how it is here. This is our crushing machine, and let us check if it is still 123 kilograms. We're going to check it on this digital weighing scale. Let us see here. It is 123.9. I think those people who sold it to me, they were right. And this is also where they cheat you so much. So we are going to be pouring this maize down here so that we start to crush it. I was telling you about the two ways of mixing the feed. There is at times that you mix it completely. You get all the ingredients by yourself, like the protein, which you get the soybean and sunflower. But the problem is those things you first have to roast them. And if you are not roasting them properly, it means you will compromise on the quality. When it is overly roasted, it means you kill the nutrients. And when it is not properly roasted, that is when you also it becomes toxic. It is having some kind of acidity, like this the soybean has some acidic nature, and then that one is very toxic to the birds, especially when they are laying. It means you will compromise on the quality there. Somebody told me that you cannot hit 97% lay when your birds are on deep litter system. So let us be very keen in observing everything that we are going through. Unfortunately, very many people, when it comes to the aspect of poultry, they will not consider the quality of the feed that they're feeding them. What they know is this is what they are feeding the birds. They don't consider the quality of the maize. They even end up bringing the maize which is already expired. Maize can expire when the flies eats it over, and then there the nutrients will be all eaten, and then there, what do you expect your birds to get? Nothing. So let us look at this maize in particular. You can see he's sweeping over. So what you had been sweeping is right over here. These are unwanted materials which had been put by the person who sold the maize. And in all, you should always make sure that you avoid this. This is not really wanted. though it doesn't have any bad effect in birds, you can see this is remains of the unwanted particles of the maize. These are the remains, so it doesn't have bad effect. But now what you need to do is to make sure there is quality. So what we are going to be using are the sieves. This is a sieve whereby the crusty maize will be passing through, and this one regulates the size, because size matters so much. You can't really mill it like the human food. Like the maize flour is too fine, and the chicken, they don't like it like that, because they have gizzard. In gizzard there are stones that can break it. This is the medium size, and this one is normally for birds which are still we call them growers, for the growers. But when it reaches the edge where they are laying, you need to crush the maize using that other sieve. It means the particles are not supposed to be too small, and they are also not supposed to be too big. The quality cuts across, and it matters a lot. So there are very many people that I know, they'll just give an order for the maize, and okay, for the complete feed, they don't know what has been happening. You know, human beings are greedy. Even the good people, they are still greedy. They will at times do what you are not supposed to be doing in your farm, especially when you are not around. There is high chances that people who are milling for you, or people who you are buying from, they'll be mixing the whole maize with the maize bran, and that one really reduces the concentration of the maize into the feed. And what you need to do is to make sure that there is no maize bran being added before you add another maize bran, because what we are going to be using for mixing this feed, there is a percentage for maize bran which is already allocated. Now when they mix this particular maize with the maize bran, it means the quality of the maize will be completely reduced. So this, let us check on the quality that has been milled or broken. This is the broken maize now, and we can see it is very white. The quality is so good. This is something I remember. This is a maize that is also meal for human consumption. I was telling you about people adding a maize bran. So maize bran is very cheap, and the maize can be double the price of the maize bran. So they will add for you maize bran, even equal size to the size of the maize, to increase the weight of the maize, so that they cheat on you. So if you are not very careful, you will be wondering why your feed is not good quality, when the problem is coming from where you're buying it from. So you should be very, very careful. And if in case you have managed to have a very big farm, or you have at least minimum actual good amount of money, you can buy your own meal. This is public meal machine, and it is not mine, and I've just come here to meal my maize. I'm going to take it away from here. And if you can afford to do this, it means what you need to do is just to go and buy maize from the right source, and then you go and do it at home by yourself. So this is where the problem comes with the feed. People, they mix the maize with the maize bran before the time of mixing the maize bran, to increase the size of the maize, which actually compromise so much the quality of the feed. So you should be very, very careful about it. And also the kilogram is also something which people cheat so much about. These weighing scales, most especially these digital ones, they can be adjusted to a lower sizes. So you should be very careful. Let us dive into the process of mixing our feed. Right here is our maize bran that we have just prepared. The maize bran is actually remain of milling maize for human consumption. Why you add maize bran is to increase the bulk of the feed. It does not necessarily contain a lot of nutrients in it, because in it is, as well as the maize, it contains the carbohydrates, which actually is already there in the maize. But for the maize bran, it is just to increase the bulk of the feed, actually to regulate the concentration of the whole feed. And what we are seeing here is the concentrate, which I'm going to be adding into this particular feed. What I'm opening is actually the maize, and in weight, this is this whatever period of the birds that I have. This actually is a limestone. We are on the pre-peak. Pre-peak is before they reach their peak. It means we are mixing now this concentration to reach the peak or production. Now you can see clearly that this is maize. It is very white. The difference is very clear, and the quality itself is also very, very good. We are putting like 103 kilograms onto 76 kilogram of maize to be mixed with 50 kilogram of concentrate, which is right here. And the white things, the white stuff that you are seeing, very white stuff, is what we call the limestone, and this brown one is the concentrate that we are adding into the maize. And why we are doing all, Peter is there actually supervising. I'm here with Peter with the red trouser. Is Peter. He's not part of the work. These people who are putting on uniforms, they are the one working here. So it means biosecurity still remains the key. They are the ones working. Peter is just there supervising. Supervision is very, very important, because sometimes the workers maybe they may get tired and they just mix the whole thing once, and that one really does not give the proper concentration to be for the actually it doesn't give uniform concentration of the nutrients in the feed. So in such scenario, birds may not really get whatever that they want, because when they peck feed just once like that, it means what they need to get is all the nutrients at that particular time. So look at how he's mixing. This is just for the start. We're going to be seeing it forming a uniform mix at the end of the day. So you can observe limestone is 28 kilogram at this particular time. And you're not supposed to copy the measurements for my feed, because what I use is kafika. It matters what you also use. And then you can observe here the maize is actual forming, okay, the feed itself is already forming a very uniform concentration. The other thing is storage. When you are storing your feed, at least mix for 1 week, maximum of 1 week, and then you will mix the other one also the other week. The storage, this is not yet mixed. It is just maize bran and other things. When it comes to the storage, I prefer using those concentrated bags, because they have another sack which is colorless inside, and those sacks, they are waterproof, so it protects my feed from getting bad. Now it is time for feeding the birds. So with the whatever that I have done here in this video, if you follow it properly, you have very high chance of hitting 97% in production of lay. So I would advise you to concentrate so much in hitting 97% in terms of lay, because efficiency is something, is actual what brings for you profit. When you keep buying the poor quality and feed them with the poor quality, they also lay for you poor. There are people who can get like a peak production of 60%. That is very useless. You may be a strong person, but it doesn't make sense when actually the right path is already there to be followed. So it is very important to really follow the rightful thing, so that you hit whatever that you are fighting for. When you're mixing the feed, don't just think that it is the mixing formula that matters so much. The quality is the key thing. So I've already revealed to you where people cheat on you when you want to make sure the quality is right. They'll keep adding what is rubbish into the feed, and by the time your feed reaches to your farm, it is no longer a quality feed. It is very bad feed. So you be conscious about it. Though it may be very expensive, but it cannot really the expense is not more than losing money in terms of low lay production. So there, be very, very careful, and then make sure that you keep moving on with the project until you reach the success or that you really you richly desire. So we rise by lifting others. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Daudi Alaba. This is the laboratory where we say our experience. So these things that I've been sharing with you are the experiences that I'd been going through for quite a long period of time. But for me, lucky, I was able to realize them before I faced challenges with them. So in case you have not yet realized, or maybe you are not around, or maybe your farm is being managed by other people who you left behind, make sure that you follow these things even if you are not around. Make sure that the quality of the maize that you are feeding your birds with is the very correct quality, and also make sure that whatever that you're giving to your birds is already measured in terms of their weight. Don't just look at the feed and then you keep mixing everything by guessing the kilograms. Get the weighing scale, measure the kilograms of whatever that you are giving to the birds. And in case you're using partially mixed feed, make sure that the producer of the feed gives you the formula for mixing the feed. And then if you can trust it, just concentrate doing it and do the right thing. You are going to hit 97%. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.